Live from London, this is BBC News.
Easy to make, but it's just so gratifying. Easy to make, but it's...
Here we go, here we go!
Live with us. How about this gentleman right here? Right here. My friend, how are you this morning?
I'm doing good.
What are you going to sign on that finish line?
What do you think I'm going to sign? I'm going to sign fuck Joe Biden. That's the risk we have here when we broadcast live from the track.
I am dead.
Fuck you!
A game of skill and chance that's fun for the whole family. Roll the dice, spin the wheel, and always remember to say,
Fuck you, Dad!
You sure fucked me there, son.
but watch out, because even if you're winning, chance cards can change the whole game.
Looks like you can go fuck yourself.
Dad fucked Jimmy! Dad fucked Jimmy!
First, ethnically accurate Jesus goes right here next to Father Mary and Mother Josephine, followed closely by the three genderless wise people on their bird scooters, Tig Notaro for some reason, and of course the little drummer them, because God forbid we call a boy a boy.
Remember, Ron, you are normal, you are not weird, you are 5'11", your suit is soft, and your shoes are grown-up big boy shoes. That's it. Pretend you're listening to music, human music. Good. Check the phone, normal style. Activate conversation mode. Hello, you're busy? Okay, love you, bye. F***ity fuck. Come on, Ron, be normal. You are not a bobblehead with a dry mouth. You are a big boy with a wet mouth. Activate head turn. Activate toothless smile. Good, very good. Activate hand gesture. Good, that's better. Remember, you are a Ron DeSantis. You aren't just normal, you're also totally not weird.
You think so? No, you can't rub a banana. It rubs you. So, okay.
Good. Hey, listen, the banana was just an inane metaphor.
You think that Africa is in Spain. You should go down the subway and take a jump. A lot of awful things down in there. With your frustrated little mustache. You think you're like Santa, and you're a bad one.
Wrong. Santa wasn't this interesting.
Listen. Downturn. Listen
Okay,
to
this man is pooping.
No.
This man is pooping on stage now.
I want to hit something.
And you can't. You can't.
We're seeing and beginning to pay attention and to count and record the deaths that are related to climate, as I call my hitman. Yes, if you decide to try to out me or my associates with any pertinent information to the authorities, I will send in my boy, Climate Change, to snuff out your voice. You fuck with me or Bill and try to link us to Epstein or anyone else we've been involved with, and we'll climate change yo ass, bitch.
You don't have to go to hell. You're in hell. This is hell. This is hell. This is hell.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.
Then strangled them, and finally dismembered their bodies.
Right.
Then do
Available.
and homelessness and all that. And now, the voice you've been waiting for.
There is a secret song at the center of the world, and its sound is like razors through flesh. I'm here to turn up the volume.
I'm kind of retarded.
It always seems to be the weird stories that seemingly make no fucking sense that really intrigue me. And I guess maybe that's because typically when it seemingly makes no fucking sense, that simply means that there's more going on to the story. For example, the case of the exploding house. This one is really weird because from top to bottom it makes no fucking sense. Let me see if I've got all this right. A dude completely loses his shit and starts firing a flare gun at his neighbor's house. At least 30 flares get fired and the cops show up. He barricades himself in the house, and when the SWAT team tries to enter, not sure why they'd send a SWAT team for a flare gun, the whole house explodes like something out of a Michael Bay film. The guy's LinkedIn and all his social media gets scrubbed, but not before his own YouTube channel posts a video of the house exploding and him commenting on it saying, "I wasn't home," and he was saying a lot of crazy shit about how literally everything in the IT world has backdoors built into him, which if you look at the company that he worked for, he was head of global information and physical security at Global Crossing, a company whose founder just happened to die exactly 1 month before this house exploded. And they're a Defense Department and intelligence agency connected company that, and amongst other things, they're doing the underseas fiber optic cable lines that is the backbone of the internet. So really, if anybody should know about this kind of thing, it would be him.
Would you like to know more?
There's not much in the way of the news talking about this, but I've seen some pretty good threads on the subject. This one right here is an example of a pretty good one. It takes a pretty deep dive into the company he worked for and all the connections. But the fact that you had this guy popping up in a YouTube video after he was supposedly dead, before anybody really knew who the fuck this dude was, really makes me wonder. And one of the things he said was, "You'll know the truth by the 7th, but the 7th came and went, and the police said they found human remains in the house that are believed to be this guy's. Of course, they also said that this investigation is going to take a long time, and they wouldn't even speculate on what it was that caused the house to explode. The first thing I thought when I saw it was it looks like one of those houses that has a gas leak and blows. But they said that the first thing they did was shut off the gas. And then just about as quickly as the house exploded, the whole story went poof and disappeared. Oh, but don't worry, the investigation is ongoing, and they've even got the FBI assisting them. The same FBI that 6 years after the most deadly mass shooting in American history, by the way, their official answer as to why that went down? Duh, we don't know. We couldn't find anything. So I'm not expecting much to come out of this investigation in the way of answers. They also had the new trailer get leaked for the Grand Theft Auto that's about to come out. And I haven't even owned a video game console in well over a decade. I'm only mentioning it because I live in South Florida, so seeing them do a modernized version of Vice City, especially with how realistic it appears to be, was hilarious to me. And I did like the original Vice City. That was back when I still used to play some video games, and I used to have a lot of fun playing that. And for what I've seen of this new one, it seems to be pretty fucking accurate. I'm just hoping that they have some kind of crazy homeless guy that eats people's faces. I'm probably never even gonna play it, but I just found it a little bit amusing. Almost as amusing as this final GOP debate was. DeSantis looked like he had nothing left in the tank after his debate with Newsom. Not really surprised there, but he wasn't much of a factor. The real fireworks came from Ramaswamy.
With all three of my other colleagues on this debate stage, is all three of them have been licking Donald Trump's boots for years for money and endorsements. Ron DeSantis, you've been a great governor, but you would have never been one without actually begging Donald Trump for that endorsement.
And you attacked him in your book a year ago.
Same thing with Chris Christie as a lobbyist, begging them for COVID money for his special interests in New Jersey, prepping him for the debates last time around. These people are now Monday morning quarterbacking some decision he made. I think the real enemy is not Donald Trump. It's not even Joe Biden. It is the deep state that at least Donald Trump attempted to take on. And if you want somebody who's going to speak truth to power, then vote for somebody who's going to speak the truth to you. Why am I the only person on the stage, at least, who can say that January 6th now does look like it was an inside job? That the government lied to us for 20 years about Saudi Arabia's involvement in 9/11. That the Great Replacement theory is not some grand right-wing conspiracy theory, but a basic statement of the Democratic Party's platform. That the 2020 election was indeed stolen by big tech. That the 2016 election, the one that Trump won for sure, was also one that was stolen from him by the national security establishment that actually put up the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that they knew was false. There's a reason why I'm the only person on the stage who can say these things. That's what it's going to take, not people who are licking his boots one time and now Monday morning quarterbacking and criticizing him when it's convenient.
This was the first time since 2016 that I laughed this hard. Watching him bitch slap Chris Christie and especially Nikki Haley, it was like watching a younger, browner Trump.
First of all, Chris Christie also doesn't know what provinces in eastern Ukraine he actually wants us to fight for. Chris, your version of foreign policy experience was closing a bridge from New Jersey to New York.
Yeah.
So do everybody a favor, just walk yourself off that stage, enjoy a nice meal, and get the hell out of this race.
It's funny because he's fat.
And I think those with foreign policy experience, one thing that Joe Biden and Nikki Haley have in common is that neither of them could even state for you 3 provinces in eastern Ukraine that they want to send our troops to actually fight for. Look at that. This is what I want people to understand. These people have, I mean, she has no idea what the hell the names of those provinces are, but she wants to send our sons and daughters and our troops and our military equipment to go fight it.
Ooh, sick burn. Oh, you could see the wheels turning and her trying to load up a clever, snarky comment, but she's got nothing. And then, of course, Fat Bastard had to jump in and defend her. Oh, you're insulting her basic intelligence. You should be ashamed. She doesn't have any fucking basic intelligence. She's a puppet. She's a defense contractor butt slut who's pushing a digital ID for us to be able to access the internet. Fuck that bitch. And the fucked up thing is, there's a good chance she could end up being the nominee. She probably won't win a single fucking primary, but that's not gonna matter. All they have to do is wait till after the convention, and then something happens to Trump and he dies, and they can pick whoever the fuck they want. Is it crazy to think that that could happen? Because that concept's already being floated around. And it's starting to seem like the best last option they've got. Nothing else they've tried has worked. And President Shitforbrain's polling just keeps getting worse and worse.
Brand new CNN poll conducted by SSRS. He's at 37% approval, 63% disapproval as he's about to turn the corner into his re-election year. And look at this number over time. You noted it's a numeric low, but he's been hanging out down here for some time. Look here. He starts going down after the Afghanistan withdrawal. That really took a hit in his numbers in 2021. There was this uptick here in his approval around the time of the 2022 midterms last year where Democrats performed better. But basically this entire year has been a downward slide now to this new numeric low of 37%.
And how does this kind of compare to others who have served in the White House?
Take a look at his modern era predecessors. This was their approval rating at this point in their presidency, heading into their re-election year. And just note here, he's at the bottom of this list at 37%. Take a look here, Dana, at these 3 that are at the bottom here. What do they all have in common? They didn't win their re-election race.
Total providence.
And so this is a real warning sign for Joe Biden. And take a look here at some of the demographic groups. 72% approval among Democrats. If you're below 80% usually of your own party, that's a warning sign. 36% approval among independents. Does not have majority approval among African Americans, nor does he with Latinos. 34% approval among young voters.
That's a big warning
This
sign.
is all
of it,
this
but
is
particularly
all a
that
warning
number.
sign for Joe Biden.
Well, no shit.
It's not just a warning sign for Biden, it's a warning sign for the whole of the Uniparty. I mean, what do they have to run on?
Orange man bad.
Orange man bad.
Orange man.
Orange man.
Seems like that spell's been broken, so they'll probably try to fall back on
Black people, the insurrection, racism.
But it doesn't seem like that line of bullshit is working as well as it used to either. And it's pretty hard to overstate how big a deal it is that they lost their stranglehold on social media when Elon Musk bought Twitter. It's a massive platform, and their inability to control the narrative of what gets talked about on there is a huge deal. Now, after he was banned over 5 years ago, Elon reinstated Alex Jones's account, which is making all the right people throw shit fits. Maybe it was just wishful thinking that was making me believe that it would get a little bit closer to election time before shit starts to get really crazy. And I still think that's what the initial plan was. But as these developments happen and they lose more and more control over the plot, the higher the likelihood that shit's gonna get weird sooner rather than later. Sluncha.
All I have in this world is my thoughts and my words, and I don't break them for no one. You understand? So say good night. So say good night to the bad guy. So say good night. So say good night to the bad guy. So say good night. So say good night to the bad guy. Come on. Come on. Come on. So say good night to the bad guy. 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 So say good night. So say good night. So say good night to the bad guy. So say good night to the bad guy. So say good night. So say good night. So say good night to the bad guy. I told you, don't fuck with me. 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 You stupid fuck. Look at you now. Look at you now.
Please consider liking, subscribing, sharing this video, or leaving a comment. Because every time you do nothing, Vladimir Putin will shoot another puppy.